This is Cedar. If we can bring up this picture, you're gonna see a brown and white floppy-eared goat. Not those goats, those are anonymous goats. I don't attest to know their life story. But Cedar was a great goat. And you can see in this picture, not only Cedar, but also a girl known only as EL, the daughter of Jessica Long, who for a period of 3 months, thanks to their involvement in a 4-H program, walked and fed and bonded with Cedar. That's what this program is all about, getting kids to know animals and get comfortable around them, and then auction them off and slaughter them. So that's where it gets a little bit dark, and that's generally the way that it goes. In this particular case, EL did not want to part with Cedar, considered Cedar to be like a puppy to her, basically. And so Jessica Long, the girl's mother, reached out to the program and tried to see if they could come to some sort of agreement. She wrote this letter and pleaded for the fair to make an exception and let her and her daughter take Cedar back. They said, we'll pay you for the goat because it had been auctioned for like $900. They said, we'll pay you for that. Any other expenses, they'll pay for the cut that the fair was supposed to get. And instead, in particular, there's emotional reasons that they should make an exception. Our daughter lost 3 grandparents within the last year, and our family has had so much heartbreak and sadness that I couldn't bear the thought of the following weeks of sadness after the slaughter of her first livestock animal. And here is the response that she got from Shasta District Fair Chief Executive Melanie Silva. Making an exception for you will only teach our youth that they do not have to abide by the rules. Also, in this era of social media, this has been a negative experience for the fairgrounds, as this has been all over Facebook and Instagram. So your kid, in the wake of losing 3 grandparents, needs to learn a lesson. And also, we don't want to like do something that would reflect poorly on us online. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna call the cops, and they did. They called the sheriff's office. The sheriffs went and got a warrant. Then they drove more than 500 miles across Northern California on a goat hunt to find the goat, because they didn't know initially where it was. They had to search different locations. By the way, in the warrant, it gives them the same sort of rights that cops have in other sorts of searches, including the ability for deputies to, quote, utilize breaching equipment to force open doorways, entry doors, exit doors, and locked containers to search all rooms, garages, and storage rooms and outbuildings of any kind large enough to accommodate a small goat. And although the goat hunt was difficult, just imagine a Rambo movie, they did eventually find Cedar. They took Cedar and they slaughtered Cedar. That is what 4-H and the sheriffs did. Francesca?
This story just crushes me on every single level. It is, it's truly what is wrong with this country, which this aggro BS toxic, like gotta teach you a lesson mentality that says, the more pain and suffering and cruelty that you endure, you will somehow learn a lesson from that and become a thriving, beautiful, wonderful, super stable person. Because everyone who's ever, achieved anything has always come from a terrible, multiple traumas. Like, no, that's not how anything works. That is not how psychology works. That's not how child development works. That's not how anything works. Teaching someone a lesson so they get, stronger. No, your program is terrible. Like, it's fine to understand how meat production works or how auctioning works or whatnot, but just this, and again, once again, guys, hashtag defund the effing police. Every single story, let's just say it. Defund the police. How do they have the time to go chase a goat down 500 miles to get what? John, there's an Elian Gonzalez photo of the goat, Cedar's just and there's a
they can scream.
Gun pointed at him.
No, we have to laugh because it's just too terrible.
It's terrible.
Yeah, they really should have made a cops episode out of this, of them hunting it down. The goat jumps over a fence and they ram through the fence in their car and they just keep on going. This is why people join the police, to protect and serve a goat for dinner. That's why they do it. By the way, look, 4-H it's everywhere. It's been around for a long time. I'm not gonna judge the entirety of 4-H or whatever. But the idea that in the modern era you couldn't make an exception, they will literally pay for the goat, the incredibly overpriced goat. They're willing to do that. And it just makes me sick. Not only that this happened, but that I'm sure that like Ben Shapiro is gonna do a video about how they like trying to not kill the goat is like woke agriculture or something.
Yes.
And that the kid should like have to like eat the goat, make the kid eat the goat every bite. That's what you need to do.
Ugh.
God, these are broken people.
So broken.
Poor Cedar, poor Yell.
It's all to create more Republicans. No, just the final point.
It's great broken people that don't center empathy in their politics. That's what it's designed to do.
Republicans, yes.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.